a lot of beeps. This is the 2025 Lexus TX. This is the 500h F-Sport. I've been driving it this week. Today, I'm gonna tell you if it's worth this $77,000 of this top-of-the-line F-Sport luxury. Now, stay to the end because I'm gonna compare this to its assembly line mate, and that's the Toyota Grand Highlander. You can get so many features in the Toyota Grand Highlander that this vehicle has for way less money. Over $10,000 you could save and get the same performance, or should I say very similar performance, same powertrain. Make sure to stay to the end because I'm going to give you guys that final recommendation. We'll look to see if there are any deals on this vehicle in my area. So let's get into it. When I started this channel as a Lexus master sales consultant, I was selling vehicles. I would get passed up all the time due to competitors having a three-row option, like the Q7 from Audi, like the Acura MDX. Lexus didn't come out with this until just a couple of years ago for a three-row crossover for families, and it is here, it is in the lineup, and it is selling well for them. We had a hiccup last year with a stop sale due to some safety things, but now it is back on the market. It is in production at high volume out of the Indiana plant alongside that Toyota Grand Highlander. All right, the front end. Let me know what you guys think of this front end because I think that the Toyota Grand Highlander looks a little bit cleaner. Now this F-Sport model has these big glossy black claddings here around the fog lights. It looks good on this Nightfall mica, but if you have a lighter paint color, it looks like it's just a little bit too much glossy black plastic. Lexus emblem, nice and flush with the top of the vehicle. The hood looks very, very sporty here. The upside down Lexus motif daytime running lights. And we come to the side, guys, we have 22-inch F-Sport wheels with oversized brakes on the F-Sport model as well. And also for 2025, you can get the F-Sport handling package on the 2.4 turbo non-hybrid models. All right, huge vehicle from the side. I'll go ahead and put this side by side on the screen for you guys with the Toyota Grand Highlander so you can see it's pretty much the same vehicle. It shares the same door panels even. It's crazy. So we come to the back, and what's new, I think this is new for 2025, is that we have dynamic rear steering, which makes parking this behemoth and the handling even better compared to the Toyota Grand Highlander, which gets this powertrain, but it's not going to have that dynamic rear steering. The back end, I do think it looks quite clean. It looks more upscale than the Toyota brethren, the Lexus TX 500h with the direct 4 with the large E-axle in the back. We'll open this up and then we'll get under the hood. We have 20 cubic feet of space behind the third row of seats. Now these seats are motorized. Guys, these are the slowest acting motorized seats. Hopefully the headrest pops down. Thank goodness. They're very, very slow to go down and to come back up. Okay, oh, and it ran into my my kid's booster seat back there. So it's, there you go. I didn't even have to press the button to, oh, and then it's still beeping at me. Let's just raise it all the way back up. And there we go. Underfloor storage, none. All right, you're not gonna have a spare tire either, I don't believe. Let's take a look. No spare tire. We do have accessory power of 1500 watts. That's great because this hybrid should be able to give you that, and Toyota has, or should I say Lexus in this case, and there are some speakers for the Mark Levinson sound system built into that liftgate. Anyways, I'm happy that they provide additional accessory power. Engine just kicked on, so it's good. The F-Sport logo, it's a black background, which means it is an F-Sport performance model from Lexus. The white backgrounds mean it's just like a handling package or an appearance package. 2.4 turbo hybrid, so the engine produces about 275 horsepower. You have an electric motor up front that connects it to the 6-speed automatic. This is not an eCVT like a lot of other Toyota hybrids or most other Toyota hybrids. This is a performance hybrid, 366 horsepower when you combine it, not only with the electric motor in the front, but also the electric motor in the rear. They call that the E-axle in the back. So 366 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque, 27 miles per gallon is what I'm seeing in town. Lexus rates it at that, and you'll get 28 miles per gallon on the highway. All right, let's go ahead and get on the inside. And we're gonna have to, I mean, you guys see how sunny it is out here. We'll get on the inside in some shade. So let's go ahead and wheel this guy around, which is really easy to do with this 4-wheel steering. This thing, I love it with the 4-wheel steering. Is it a must-have? Absolutely not, but we're talking about like a Lexus here. So having all these additional features in here is, it's nice. And we do have that 360 camera And there we go. That's good enough for me. We do have these digital latches. It's taken my kids a bit to get used to. We do have four-door smart key access, sunshades in the back. Materials are quite good, soft door panel. Pretty basic two-tone here on the door panel as well, but this is the button to escape, and you can double pull to open it the traditional style, or should I say the physical, because it is a push button, which is just open. It's confusing, but you just press and you push to open it. All right, we can get in the back seat a few different ways. You have all these levers to move this seat. And by the way, this is only a 6-seater in the hybrid models. You have this removable cup holder thing that you can remove with one hand. It's low profile enough. Honestly, it's low profile enough to just move to the back seat. But if this is removable, I just don't understand why Lexus couldn't have had a small seat to fit in there. Right? The Acura MDX has a removable middle seat, and when you fold it down, it reveals cup holders on the back of it. Like, Acura has completely outclassed Toyota in this regard, I should say Lexus in this regard, for only giving us 6 seats. I think it's a huge packaging disaster for this vehicle, in my opinion. I do have vents above, which is quite nice, USB-C. You also have this handle, which I didn't do this. You can press the button up here, and then you use this handle to pull yourself into the back. All right. Oh, geez. That was crazy. You guys saw, I didn't even pull the seat back that hard, and it kind of cranked all the way back. So let's do that again. Okay. That was crazy. And now it's stuck all the way forward, and I can't adjust it until I get back in the front seat. Okay, I can adjust the seat backs that I'm sitting in with these buttons, so that's nice for reclining. Kind of a tablet holder, couple cup holders back here, nice soft armrest. Honestly, guys, I have a good amount of leg space, and this seat's almost all the way back. So, you know, Lexus and Toyota have given this plenty of room in the back seat. And in fact, these seats are so wide back here, they could have easily fit another seat back here, which I think the Grand Highlander is available in an 8-row configuration, or sorry, 8-seat configuration in the 3 rows combined. All right, and so to take out 2 of the usable seats in this vehicle compared to the Grand Highlander is just really strange to me, and it's something I hope Lexus addresses in the future. But they do their research. Apparently they know what's best for how many seats their customers need. Huge panel roof, but you can get that on a Toyota Grand Highlander as well. In the back, you have heated and ventilated 2nd row seats. I shouldn't say in the back, I should say the middle row. You also have 2 USB-Cs, your 1500 watt power accessory. Again, your removable cup holder station with removable cup holders inside of it. It's kind of cool. It's unique. I don't see a lot of other manufacturers doing that. Let's go ahead and sit in this 2nd row. Luckily, I'm flexible to move around. Really, really spacious, lots of legroom. Great look at the panel roof. The vent is right above my face. Good headroom as well. And getting into the major seat, this is kind of a bland door panel for such an expensive vehicle. I think you guys would agree. I drove a vehicle that's in the same class, I would say, as the Genesis GV80, and the materials in that vehicle just blow away what we have here on this TX. We also have the puddle lamps here, but it's not nighttime, so yeah, you can kind of see the F Sport showing up on my hand. You guys might be able to see that. Get into the front seat here with the F Sport embossed here. You know, it is a nice seat, and when I throw this huge behemoth in the turns, these seats, not only are they comfortable, they do hold me in quite nice, but there are no massaging seat function in here. I do have memory seats on this side. Closing the door, sounds okay. Sounds pretty good. This dash though, it's very flimsy. You can see me just deforming the dash with a light press on it. All right, and when I take turns or I feel some bumps in the road, I do hear the dash kind of creak around on me. So like, this vehicle doesn't feel nearly as solid as something like a Toyota 4Runner, for example. All right, I know that's a truck-based platform, it's different, but it's not, in my opinion, it doesn't give me the solid feeling I'm expecting in a Lexus, and I'll talk more about that when we drive. All right, the materials in here, I got the suede here on the dash. It's all right, but it's almost like upper like mainstream instead of luxury. Like if you get into, I'm going to turn the AC on, which no physical climate control, it's just all touch capacitive on the touchscreen. But if you get into something like a top end Mazda CX-90, that has nicer materials and a nicer interior in my opinion than this Lexus that comes in at, I don't know, 15, 20 grand more than a top end Mazda CX-90. All right, and that has a 6-cylinder. This only has a 4-cylinder. However, I didn't talk about this earlier. You can get the plug-in hybrid version of this, but they're pretty much impossible to find. That does have a V6. It does have 30 plus miles of electric range. I still haven't tested one. Stay tuned on the channel. I sure hope I can test one by the end of this year, because I think when you're spending this much on the 77K model, just spend a little bit more and get that exclusive powertrain, that plug-in hybrid powertrain, because that's going to make that vehicle feel a lot more worth its price than this powertrain that is found on much a cheaper Toyota model. All right, with that being said, we have a fully digital screen back here. This is standard across the lineup, and I do have a head-up display, which is all controlled. Hopefully the camera can pick this up. Yeah, it's picking it up a little bit. It's all controlled through the customizable steering wheel buttons. And it's okay. This head-up display is pretty average. It's not the brightest. It's not the most crisp. You know, it is pretty cool how I can customize things. And I can change this display by using the buttons on the steering wheel. This actually is frustrating still to me. If you try customizing this while you're driving, Toyota says, like, make sure you're stopped. They won't let you customize this screen at all, other than changing the displays like you see here. You might be saying, that's all the customization I need, but keep in mind, there's 3 different templates. I've customized template 1, but if I go to template 2 here, and then I hold down to customize, then there are 3 different customizations here for preset number 2. Okay, which is cool, I guess, but I don't see the need for having all this stuff on here. All right, it's just a little overwhelming. I think the average Lexus customer is hardly ever going to play with these multiple screens here. So I just leave it here where it has my fuel economy, it has my energy monitor, and I leave it there. Moving to this 14-inch screen, which is really only a 12-inch screen, because 2 inches of the screen, this bar and this bar are fixed. Now I do have quick access to driving modes, but it's kind of frustrating because, and you can see the glares on this screen right now. But if I go to sport mode, which is cool, it changes, my screen over here with the tachometer and whatnot, that's fine. I can't get out of it by just pressing sport mode again. I have to get out of this, go to my vehicle, make sure I'm out of energy flow, go back to drive mode and go to normal. What happened to just having a simple button to do your driving modes? Now, Toyota, or should I say Lexus, includes this adventure off-road button. I honestly don't know what it does, but I'm never using this. I would much rather have this button here to cycle through my drive modes instead of fumbling through the touchscreen. So as a result, guys, I've been just leaving it in normal all week instead of fumbling through the menus to get into my sport mode. All right, so it's just a bit frustrating, but it is what it is. You do have ambient lighting in here, which it's daytime, so I'm not going to play with it. The Mark Levinson sound system is like godlike. It's amazing. That's one of the reasons you go for this vehicle if you're an audiophile over something like a Grand Highlander. We also have wireless charger, tons of USBs, parking assist, which I'm never going to use. You have removable cup holders up here as well, hidden 12 volt down here at the bottom, dinky little shifter, and lifting this up, it's all felt line, which I really appreciate, with a light in the middle. Digital rearview mirror on this as well, which is quite nice. Sunglasses holder. And we also have the F Sport like aluminum pedals and the F Sport design steering wheel with the black label, and the paddle shifters to roll through the 6-speed auto. All right, I'm ready to start driving the Toyota Grand Highlander's fancier sibling, the Lexus TX. That front cross traffic alert drives me crazy. There are ways to disable it, but I don't want to fly through the menus. That's also very infuriating. Now, the front cross traffic alert, like, I feel like I've turned it off before, then it turns itself back on as well. So like, it's it's really annoying because you start like pulling out slowly into traffic, as I'm sure it's going to do right here. Wait for it. No, it didn't do it there. I'm surprised. I'm waiting for it. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. All right, now we have all this power and torque. Let's just merge into traffic. It's such a good powertrain. This is a masterful powertrain. I adore it. It is fantastic. It's incredibly quiet, incredibly smooth. It shifts through the gears while still giving you like a sense of performance with the 6-speed auto. In the past, I've either loved it or been not so in love with this powertrain because I don't know, it seemed a bit rough at times in certain models like the RX 500h that I tested right when that vehicle launched with this powertrain. But I've loved it in the Crown Hybrid Max sedan, and how it behaves here. It's smooth as butter, it's quiet, it's powerful, and pretty efficient. You know, that was the first time I've done pedal down this week just because I'd never need to have that much power and torque, but we're reviewing it. Put an auto brake hold on, which you have to do every time you start the vehicle back up. It doesn't remember it. 26 miles per gallon here. I think if I really tried to game it, I could probably get upper 20, maybe 28, 29, 30 miles per gallon. The problem is I'm running AC all the time. That's not kind on the battery, so the battery because the battery provides the AC in a hybrid. I can hear this G-Wagon's V8 purring next to me. What Lexus has done well here, I would say, are 3 things majorly: is the comfort, the quietness, all right, when you drive, the powertrain, and the smoothness they've nailed, and the sound system. The sound system is God tier. It's amazing, this Mark Levinson. But everything else in this vehicle, it kind of falls a little, it's not flat, but it's not like, as I go over those crosswalk lines there, like I could hear something on the dash just kind of giving me a little rattle. Now, it never rattles unless I hit something, all right? That's like a bump in the road. And this is also not up to Lexus quality. The steering, it's really quick in here. It's sportier than I'm used to in a Lexus. So I do appreciate that in this S Sport model, but I feel every imperfection in the road through the steering wheel. That's not what I'm looking for in a Lexus. I know it's a sporty model, but I want no bumps and like vibrations coming through my steering wheel in my Lexus. And I don't want it coming through my pedals either, and you feel it in the pedals, you feel it in the floor. So it just feels like it's not Lexified enough compared to the Toyota Grand Highlander in so many different ways, okay? The brakes are really good in here, but I'm kind of held up by this Camry because I like throwing this thing in the turns. It feels good, I would say, for the first 60, 70%. If you're pushing it at like 100% or close to 100%, anything over 70%, this thing just like tips. And that's fine, right? It's a luxury vehicle, but it's a sport model. So I am wanting a little bit more stiffness. You might be saying, Kirk, just put it in sport mode. But the thing is with the old Lexus is, for example, like an ES, you had the drive mode right here, so I could just quickly put it into sport mode, stiffen up the suspension, and then throw it in the turn. Here, I'm just like fumbling through the touchscreen. So like the adaptive dampers in here are a complete waste because I am not fumbling. I refuse to take my eyes off the road when I'm driving spiritedly and just throw it into sport mode. You might be saying, Kirk, it's just this and this, but then I can't get out of it, my sport mode, without, well, now I'm stuck in Android Auto because there's no shortcut to get out of your sport mode, or if you're in eco mode, you kind of like, there we go, we're back in normal. So Lexus, just give us a dedicated button for sport modes. That would fix a lot of my issues. That makes me actually, I think, more upset than, you know, digital only climate control, all right? Because I'm in a sports model, I want to be able to change the programming of the transmission, the programming of the engine, and the stiffness of the suspension. I want all that at the moment's thought that I have it. And that would be as simple as twisting a knob like previous Lexus have done, or pressing a sport button model, but I don't have it. And that rant is done. I'm done with it, all right? So it's not nearly as sporty as I would like it to be because, well, I'm kind of locked out of the sport mode. I'm just sitting here, guys. This is the Lexus treatment. Oh, I hear a mower now back there, but it's almost dead quiet. No engine running. I can barely hear my ventilated seat working. I don't hear any cars going. Well, there aren't that many, but I don't hear any cars. I don't hear any wind. It is sealed really, really well. It's just like I said, this dash, you do hear like this screen creak and rattle when you hit bumps and stuff, right? This just feels tacked on and cheap, the entire dash. All right, so as we accelerate mildly, barely hear the engine kick on. I can feel it through the pedals though. I can feel that into the pedals. I can feel the vibes a little bit through the steering wheel, but I can't really hear it. I can just kind of hear the heavy, deep undertones. All right, and I never get vibey, like any really bad 4-cylinder vibes from this engine. I like, say what you want about this 4-cylinder, it is like, this powertrain is fantastic here. It reminds me of an old V8 with the amount of torque you have, the amount of smoothness you have with this hybrid powertrain. Except you get way better than V8 fuel economy with the, into the upper 20s. You know, if the Lexus TX existed in a vacuum where the Grand Highlander didn't exist, that has all this, essentially all this equipment, you don't get the elite level Mark Levinson, but essentially you get 99% of the same experience in a Toyota Grand Highlander Hybrid Max Platinum model. I think that's what it is, Platinum or Limited. You get the head-up display, you get a 360 camera, you get physical climate control, you get more seats. That's a huge one for me as a family guy. You get more seats in it while paying way less. Like, this vehicle is a bit compromised because the Grand Highlander exists and hits everything that this vehicle does essentially for way less money. So let's head back into the office. Can I give this vehicle a recommendation, since it is so much like the Grand Highlander, which undershoots this by several, like $10,000, $15,000 when you equip it about equally. Looking to see what's available for the TX 500H. Well, guys, look at my area. There are 353 4-cylinder non-hybrid versions with the TX 350, and there are hardly any, just 43 500Hs within a 150-mile radius of where I live. All right, so finding a 500H is going to be very difficult in comparison to the 4-cylinder. Now, if we look at the 4-cylinder models, guys, I just want to look at how cheap you can get them. There's still $58,000 for the 350. You know, I know it's like the smoothest application of that 2.4 turbo in any Lexus or Toyota vehicle, but guys, it's not. 63K is a lot of money. Guess what you can get for 63K? You can get a fully loaded Grand Highlander made on the same assembly line, made with much of the same parts, and you can get the upgraded powertrain that is in this TX 500H. This is absolutely the way to go if I was getting a new 3-row crossover. You can still, like, guys, I know many of you are like, hey, no, I want that Lexus experience. Well, here's the thing. Just buy this at a Toyota dealership and get it serviced at the Lexus dealership right next door if you want that Lexus customer service. It's a Lexus TX, essentially, all right? It's the same exact vehicle, except slightly different interior, better interior, mind you, in my opinion, in here compared to the compromised touchpad climate control on the TX. All right, so look at this. All right, Hybrid Max, 61K. You can get one for 61K Platinum right here. And if I go to the Lexus TX, guys, these are all of them are all over $70,000 for this 500H. It's not, well, let's get to the spreadsheet. Where do I put this here? Is it an S tier? Absolutely not. Is it an excellent purchase? No, it's just too expensive, and it's not for an F Sport model with big old wheels, and it's just not that fun to drive. It is a very good vehicle. I would say it's a solid buy and nothing more than that, because you can get this vehicle with a Toyota badge for about 10, 15 grand less. And it's like better. It's better looking. It has more functionality with the climate control buttons. It's just kind of frustrating. for this vehicle. It is a good car. It's not anything else more than that. If you really want that Lexus experience, you really want that Lexus badge, you're going to be paying 10 plus grand more for it and not getting anything else other than the Lexus badge. In my opinion, I've driven both of these vehicles. It does handle better. It will handle better just slightly. It still sucks at handling, in my opinion, for an F-Sport car, but it will handle slightly better. It will brake slightly better than the Toyota variant, but those things I can throw out I'd trade those things in a heartbeat for physical climate control, which the Toyota has for way less money. All right, so we're just gonna throw it in somewhere in here. It doesn't matter. It's just a B tier vehicle. And for me, that means it's a solid buy. Oh, and like, guys, it only has 6 seats in the hybrid. Another reason I'd go for the Grand Highlander hybrid max in a heartbeat. Okay, so what do we say about this? It's big for its class in the luxury class. It is the powertrain's great. I love this hybrid max powertrain. Powertrain's awesome. Only 6 seats, and Grand Highlander exists. Okay, so there you have. And guys, I'm just comparing to the Grand Highlander. There are other vehicles I'd rather have than the TX as well that are not even luxury cars. I would pick absolutely the GV80 over it. I would pick the MDX Type S. If money's no option, go get the SQ7, but it's very compromised for a 3-row vehicle anyways. The Lincoln Aviator, I enjoy driving more than the Lexus TX. So it's good that Lexus has something in this segment. However, it's just, save your money, guys. Save your money. If you really need to have a Toyota Lexus product, just go get the Grand Highlander and save so much money. This thing doesn't do anything really that much better to justify that price increase. All right, I'm going to rest my case there. Thank you guys for watching. It's a good vehicle. It's a solid buy. Nothing more, nothing less than that. Okay. And I still haven't tested the plug-in hybrid variant of this, and that could change my mind. But guys, going back to availability in my area, there are 0 plug-in hybrid. There are 0 TX 550H pluses. They don't exist. All right. So, all right. Thank you guys. Have a great day and peace.